I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the May 31st, 2018 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair of the County Commission. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, we have a lot of exciting things to discuss on our proclamations and presentations. If we could get started.
Okay. Item 1, proclamations, presentations. Number 1, recognition of Capital Federal Savings as the title sponsor for the Spirit of Kansas scheduled at Lake Shawnee, Parks and Recreation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rachel Meyer, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. I'm here today for a presentation that you've seen for about 17 years in a row, but it's always exciting to continue a partnership such as this one. I was going to tell you a little story. When I lived in Chicago, Mayor Daley canceled the fireworks. That was July 3rd, tradition. Everybody was upset. I went back last year, and Navy Pier now does the fireworks, which is a nonprofit organization. So they were able to continue something, but it's a little bit different. People got used to it, but I will say they were not as good as our fireworks here in Topeka, so that's a good thing. But we wouldn't actually be able to do this without the help of a title sponsor. So Capital Federal is actually here today. We have John Dykes with Capital Federal. We have Tammy Dishman with Capital Federal Foundation. And they actually work with our Shawnee County Parks and Rec Foundation to work on this sponsorship and to pay for the fireworks. So like I said, this is a 17-year tradition that we are happy to continue, and we'd like to have them come up and present the check and say a few words if they'd like.
Rachel, thank you very much. On behalf of the foundation, I'm proud to be here again for the 17th year, because I think our story is a little bit like yours. Back in 2001, after 9/11, the next year there wasn't going to be the funds for the fireworks in 2002, and we just thought that that was not the time to be canceling something like this, so we decided to step up and do that, and with the help of John over the last 17 years and all the commissioners, we are proud to be a part of the Spirit of Kansas Festival, and again give to you this year a check for $25,000 for the fireworks this year.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
This is quite a moment, as always, every year. It means a lot to the community, and it's really, it's a great partnership with the public, the private, and the whole thing. And I know that this isn't something that you have to do, but we really appreciate everything that you do for our community. So, Commissioner Archer, do you have?
I can't wait to see the commercial. I know we had fun last year, John and I, so I'm sure it'll be even better this year with Commissioner Cook.
I've been studying my script.
They have the teleprompter,
They get
right?
the teleprompter now. We're a little better off now. So.
I was just going to add, you step up for a lot of different things in this community, so this is just one of many, and we so appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We're glad to do it.
All right.
Thank you very much, John.
Thanks again, John.
Can you get him a picture?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to receiving the real one. Just a reminder, we will have some agenda items in the future regarding Spirit of Kansas, but it is held at Lake Shawnee on July 4th. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item 2, presentation regarding the Aquatic Parks Summer Shuttle, Topeka Metropolitan Transit.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm Jim Ogle. I'm Chair of the Topeka Metro Board of Directors, and I'm here to tell you how much we appreciate the investment that you have made in the community for the Midwest Health Aquatic Center. We're excited that this year, for the first time, we're going to be able to make it possible for all kids in the Topeka Metro footprint to be able to go to the Aquatic Center in our Kids Ride Free program. We will be running a route each day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon coming back, so that no one will be prevented from attending because they don't have transportation. And it's part of the real commitment you've made and the commitment that Parks and Recreation has made to cooperating and working with us and partnering with us on the way. Now, our first shuttle is going to be on Thursday, June 7th, and though there are threatening skies overhead right now, I promise you the weather will be good. And I want you to know that I come prepared to show you that these are my new swim trunks. Now, some people think this is actually tent fabric or something, given the size of them. Forward to be wearing them on June 7th when we send the kids out for their first time at the Midwest Aquatic Center. So we're excited about the partnership and that no kids will be kept from visiting and using this park because they don't have transportation along the way. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Jim, the time that the buses will be running out and the time that will be coming back?
We do the central pickup, so all our routes, as you know, come to Quincy Street Station. So anyone can ride in. They have to be for the shuttle, boarding before noon at Quincy Street Station. That will take them out to the park. And then the return will be announced at 3:30 by the park staff, boarding the bus at 3:45, arriving at Quincy Street Station at 4:10. Then any child who needs to make a transfer can do so and take the bus wherever they need to go along the way. And again, all being free as part of our Kids Ride Free program.
Okay, very good.
Thank you all very much for the partnership.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item 3, recognition and ratification of the appointment of Ms. Sydney Stone to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Advocate Board as recommended by City Councilman Brendan Jensen, City Council District Number 6.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby with Parks and Recreation. I was hoping Sydney would be able to make it today, but I'm really excited to recommend her to the board. She's young, enthusiastic, and I think it's a positive sign that we are getting some of the younger adults into our advisory board or on our advisory board. Sydney is a recent graduate of Washburn University School of Business with emphasis in management and marketing. She is working currently with Loretto Sports Venues, which is affiliated with the North American Hockey League, which is affiliated with the Topeka Roadrunners. She does marketing there, as well as Dickey's barbecue franchises that are in Kansas and Missouri. She comes from an athletic background, played sports. I think she was a graduate of Seaman High School, played sports, volleyball, basketball, and has also worked in officiating and was a lifeguard at one time. So Mr. Alaker may have somebody as a backup now on our advisory board. So, but anyway, I'm encouraged and I'm excited that she's coming to your recommendation. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
This comes as a recommendation from City Councilman Brendan Jensen, so this is one of the picks from the city, and then it's approved by the county.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item 4, under proclamations presentation, recognition and approval of the reappointment of Jennifer Renee Wilson as an Ambulance Advisory Board member as recommended by Stormont Vale from Emergency Management.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castile, Ambulance Compliance. This is our annual reappointments or appointments to the Ambulance Advisory Board every year on June 11th. Two of our positions are open this year. It will be the hospitals, Stormont Vale and then KU St. Francis. Renee is the Stormont Vale recommendation, and we should have the one from KU St. Francis here in the next week or so, and they'll join the board. The terms are 3 years.
Any questions?
I have none. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much, Nelson.
You bet.
Our next item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are 5 items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
We have vouchers totaling $1,921,523.86. The largest amount of that is our transfer to JADO, $679,359.90. We also have a large amount under special assessment, $251,818.28. Most of that is for the Sterling Chase Street improvements, Phase 3. Third is $214,694.52, and the bulk of that is health insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So I do not have any questions. I would move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook for approval, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider approval of project budgets totaling $43,213.99 for roof projects, $32,187.50, and point-of-sale upgrade, $11,025.49, with funding from the Capital Maintenance 3R Fund.
Good morning, Commissioner Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. Before you, we had, a while back, I had a roof that came down, which was at the Shawnee North maintenance shop, but in time, we have gone back through our system and in our shelters, we have put together ones that we feel are needed to be re-roofed this year, and then later this fall, we'll probably have another group that will be slated towards 2019 to be looked at and be re-roofed as well. And the other item that's on here, if there's any questions on the point of sale and upgrade to our system within our concessions, Josh Lehman is here as well to answer any questions on that.
Questions regarding the road projects or point of sale? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item B2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-180-2018 with North America Central School Bus to transport day camp children on field trips and event shuttle services at a cost of $54 per hour for a 71-passenger bus, with 3-hour minimum per day and total bus service for 2018 estimated at $23,816.
Good morning, Clay Neal with Shawnee County Parks and Rec. We had contract go through for North American Central School. They were one of 2 that put in bids for this and seeking approval for the contract.
Okay. Any questions regarding the Commissioner Archer?
Have we done business with them in the past, Clay?
We have not. They're new. They're the company that 501 is bringing in to replace Durham.
Okay. But they're reputable and you've checked out references
Yes.
and everything? I see. Okay. I'll move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Our next item.
Item C, Facilities Maintenance number 1, consider approval of request to utilize contingency funding in an amount of $5,301.77 to finance emergency repairs by Samco to the air conditioning system at the North Annex.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facility Maintenance Director. Earlier this spring, the main air conditioner on the north side of the North Annex decided to choke itself up and spit and cough. And when we got over there and figured out what was wrong, we'd lost about 75 pounds of Freon out of it due to a leak. Samco was contacted, repaired the leak, recharged the system, and at this point, it's operating normally. Just asking for some funds to make sure we can pay that emergency repair.
This is an aging HVAC system for North Annex,
Yes, it
isn't
is. 35-plus years old.
Okay, so, and then we are looking at some replacement costs down the road for our HVAC.
That's correct.
What are we looking at? I mean, this is a building that doesn't have really windows that we can open up for our employees.
No, there's just 5 windows at the whole location. All those are on the upper floor. We also are looking at possibly adding some windows, getting pricing on that as well. But the air conditioning system, there's several issues with it out there. The air intake for the north side is on the north side of the building, and a lot of times the trash trucks and things that are coming through, the diesel fumes will be pulled in through that intake. So as we had PCAM, our engineering, look at it, his feeling is to move the air handler to the roof and get away from the fumes and things. But right now, we just don't quite have enough money to do it. Got some ideas on how we might, but it's well over $100,000 just to get that north side fixed.
Okay. And then as far as if this air conditioner unit would go out, a timeline to replacement is more than a month?
Yes. You'd have to get the equipment first, and probably looking at about a month lead time just to get all the equipment necessary. The roof work, there's some work that could be done ahead of time. If we move the air handler up onto the roof, we could do the curbing and those type of things, get that ready during that month time so that when everything did get here, we could be up and running.
But that could be pretty critical to our Public Works Department.
Public
appraiser's
Works, solid
office.
waste, yeah, appraiser's office, that's correct.
All right. So this is something that we need to probably monitor very closely.
Yes.
Any other questions?
No, I have no questions. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item C2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-182-2018 with Ozark Integrated Pest Service, Inc., to provide termite treatments to the Extension Office in the amount of $367.63, with an annual warranty renewal option of $50 per year, and the Cypress Ridge Golf Course Maintenance Building in the amount of $1,558.40, with an annual renewal option of $150.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. These 2 items are basically due to termite swarms that were discovered at both of those locations. There's a 3rd location. We had some termite swarms at the Health Department. Charles McPeak is working on a contract for that. It's really more of a service-type issue to treat these termites, but the language in the Ozark proposal was contractual, so our county counselor advised that we should do this in a formal contract. Other than that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions regarding the item?
Move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item D, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill an Office Assistant 2 position at a salary including benefits of $42,530, and to fill any position that becomes vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Blanc with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item. And our receptionist, who's currently on staff, has, over the past few years, been furthering her education to the point where she has now gotten herself qualified to do a different type of work, and she's going to be working for a local accounting firm. So it is with that, we would like to be able to replace her, as this receptionist is the face of our department when the public comes in or calls. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions regarding the item?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Pass on our congratulations to her advancement in the career.
Yes.
I will.
Our next item.
Item D2, consider approval of resolution number 2018-24, authorizing the placement and maintenance of a 45-mile-per-hour speed limit sign at the section of Northeast 62nd Street from Kincaid Road to the Jefferson County line.
Commissioners, Tom Block again, Public Works in Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item. We received a request from Soldier Township, who has jurisdiction and maintenance over Northeast 62nd from Kincaid to the Jefferson County line. That street did not have any posted speed limit, so they requested that we do a speed study on their behalf and recommend a speed limit. And so we did so, and this is the process. Even though it is a township road, any speed limits or any type of regulatory traffic control enforcement or resolution needs to come through the county commission for approval, and then they will then take on the maintenance thereof if approved. So our department did do a speed study for them, and the 85th percentile speed falls in line with 45 miles per hour, and that is what we are going to recommend for the speed limit. And if approved, then we will notify Soldier Township, and then they will be responsible for the placement and maintenance of those speed limit signs. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
All right, thank you.
Tom. Our next item.
Item E, elections. Number 1, consider approval of request to award the bid for election ballot services and printing for the 2018-2019 election cycle to Mainline Printing, Inc., and authorization to negotiate a contract.
Good morning, Commissioners. Andrew Howell, Shawnee County Election Commissioner. As you know, we have received an RFQ response back on a couple of things. One, election ballot services and printing for the 18 and 19 election cycle. Our lowest cost and most responsive bid was received from Mainline Printing. Tom Elwood is actually here with us today if you guys have any questions, but I just wanted to say we think that they have put together an excellent proposal. Very cost-effective, as well as, security, the security focus that we have. We think they gave us an excellent response on that as well. I think it ought to be recognized publicly that when you have local companies that do good work, that is probably one of the best security risk mitigation effects or factors that you can have. So there were a number of reasons why we selected them, but we would like to bring you back a contract on Monday. They were our choice for all those reasons. So I think that's all I've got. Just based on cost and most responsive to the RFP, and that focus on the new focus that we've got on making sure that we're really taking care of the security issues.
Any questions regarding awarding a contract to Mainline Printing?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item E2, consider approval of request to award the bid for election equipment moving and delivery services for the 2018-2019 election cycle to Kansas Van and Storage Crickey Corporation, and authorization to negotiate a contract.
Same thing here. We had a RFQ response from one bidder, Kansas Van and Storage. We think that they were very responsive. Again, we've put quite a few new requirements on them for security reasons. We think the response was very good and effective and very close to the kind of costs that we've seen in the past. So we like the response, and I think Kirk is here today too if you've got questions for him. Again, another, I would say, trusted local business that does excellent work. We're very satisfied with their level of attention to detail and the kind of work that they do for us. So if you have any questions.
This is a change from how we've delivered voting equipment in the past, isn't it?
It is not a significant change, other than I think we were a lot more specific than we have been in the past about our requirements. You know, how many people, knowing who those people are up front, specific requirements that the trucks be under video surveillance. I mean, just a lot more specific details that the vendor has to meet. Significantly different, I don't know. They've done excellent work and really tried to pay attention to these things, but we've put a lot more requirements about who and how and exactly how we can track exactly who's handling and those kinds of things into the contract. So I don't know if I'd call it significant, other than just
being really clear about security protocols that have to be followed.
I think I remember years ago, your elections workers were actually delivering the equipment out to the sites and bringing the equipment back in, or?
Let me do a real quick explanation of that. That's correct to a degree. What they're actually delivering out to the polling place ahead of time is going to be the actual ballot boxes and the actual DS200 machines. So your under the old process, the election workers would actually bring in the electronic screens themselves. Now we have those delivered. So that part of it's correct, but we've always had the ballot boxes delivered because those are so huge. They're 3 foot by 5 foot tall. They're just too difficult it was already too taxing on our election workers to do what we did. You certainly couldn't add a 3 by 5 to somebody's trunk and expect it to get there and do so safely.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item F, Emergency Management. Number 1, acknowledge that the Ambulance Advisory Board has approved publishing the less than 2.5% increase for AMR in accordance with Contract C207-2016, with the actual specific rates to be determined in the near future and then released to the public.
Morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castillo, Ambulance Compliance here again. With the new contract that you approved in 2016, there is now a new manner by which rates are set, meaning increased. I don't think they'll ever decrease, but there's always that chance. Part of that is that if it is below 2.5%, it only goes through the Ambulance Advisory Board for their approval instead of coming back here. If it's above that, then it comes through you all, and you guys decide whether to approve the rates that they're wanting or not. This is just a highest number of how high can they go this year based on that 2.5, and it's also based on that consumer price index for the urban areas for the medical services and the transportation, which I believe this year looking was right near the 2.5. So annually, based on that, they will be coming back and either saying, yes, we want to increase, or we want to leave them the same, or we want to decrease.
Any questions? I'll move for approval of, move to acknowledge the receipt of the item.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item G, Administrative Services. Number 1, update on expenses and revenues.
Good morning, Betty Griner, Director of Administrative Services. Well, that didn't come up. There it goes. I am here with our financial overview for April 30th of this year, and I will begin with revenues. Our year-to-date revenues through April 30th were $51,969,092. That is $509,000 over budget. This chart shows you the breakdown of all the different revenue sources. You can see that property taxes is the largest category. And I'll go through each category individually. Our first category we'll look at is property tax revenue. We received $44,770,084. This did not change from last month. We did not have a tax distribution in the month of April. The second half taxes were due in May, so those will be distributed in June. So this number will not change till June. Next category is other tax revenue. We've received $4,007,908. That is $28,000 over budget, so right on budget. Property-related fees, we've received $522,561, and that's $17,000 above budget, so right on budget again. Charges for services, we've received $1,151,000 let me start over. $1,151,572. That is $224,000 under budget, and that is all attributable to Parks and Rec. The month of April alone, they were $93,000 under budget, and then $88,000 under what we had received the prior year. But from what I received, the information I received this morning was that Memorial Day was a very high receipt weekend. So this will may very well be changing in the next months. And then the next category is other revenue. We received $1,516,967. That is $36,000 over budget, so again, right on budget. So if we look at our total budget variance of $509,000 over budget, that is about 0.5%. So there again, in a very reasonable range to be on budget. This is our pie chart that shows the different sources. 86% is from property taxes. Other taxes are 8%. Property-related fees of 1%. Charges for services of 2%, and then miscellaneous revenue of 3%. Then we will go on to the expenditure side. And we, through April 30th, received, or paid expenditures of $32,582,285. That in totality was $310,000 under budget. This chart, again, just shows the different categories and how the totals are made up of those different categories. Our first category we'll look at is law enforcement expenditures. We spent $14,166,446 in law enforcement, and that is $1,291 under budget. So that's about as close as you can get. The next category is public health. We spent $4,178,476, and that, as always, is right on budget because those are allocated amounts. But it is $200,000 less than last year because of the Grace Med contract. Administrative services is next, and we have spent $5,049,325. My, I'm getting tongue-tied here today. And that is $183,000 under budget. Most of that variance is from the contingency. Through the end of April, we were $127,000 under budget on the contingency, but there was a $167,000 item that was just approved last week. So by the end of next month, that will look differently. The next category is public works. We've spent $3,239,229, and that's $25,000 under budget, so right on budget. Parks, Recreation, and Expo. That was the expenditures were $5,043,504, and that is $93,000 under budget. But I'll also remind you that their expenditures were, or their receipts were under budget also. And the last category is debt service. We spent $905,305. That there was is $6,900 under budget, and there was no change in that also because this only includes the interest for the first half of the year. So the total variance of $310,000 is 0.3% of 1%. So again, right within an acceptable range. Here's our expenditures by category. And as always, we can see that law enforcement is by far the largest. And then here's the pie chart that shows 43% of our expenditures were for law enforcement. Public health was 13%. Administrative Services, 16%, Public Works, 10%, Parks, Recreation, and Expo of 15%, and Debt Service of 3%. I will mention that although we had revenues of $52 million and expenditures of $32.5 million, this is through the end of April. So through that time period, we have received about half of our tax revenue, but we have only had 4 months of expenditures. And our highest months of expenditures in the summer are still coming. So that's why I stress the budget variance rather than the numbers themselves. And any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you, Betty. Glad to see you have no surprises. Our next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any item.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. I'm going to touch on a couple items. As Betty said, Memorial Weekend, last week we had huge days at all our facilities, and I just want to commend our staff, from the seasonal workers to the supervisors to the administration handling the money. You never know when you open up the pools and what you're going to get, and I know they spent a lot of time out there this weekend, and it was very busy, and I just want to commend them, and that they do a super job, and a lot of times they got to improvise on the fly to do that, and I truly appreciate it. Also, it's that time of year again for the Best of Topeka. They've kind of done a little different with the nomination this year. In the past, we've always been just nominated for the final voting of different categories. This year, they have a first round that you're not automatically, you've got to receive so many votes to get to the second round and the final round. And we have just heard that we reached the final in several categories. The final voting will be announced, I believe, in early fall. So, but I did want to touch on a few categories that we've received to get to that nomination. Free entertainment, Gage Park and Lake Shawnee. The best local historic site was Old Prairie Town. The best place for reception and entertaining was Lake Shawnee. The best place to hold a birthday party was Gage Park. The best place to take an out-of-towner was Lake Shawnee, Ted Inslee Gardens. The recreation category, the best golf course, we had both Cypress Ridge and Lake Shawnee receive to the final count. And the best park, we received 3, Lake Shawnee, Ward Mead, and Crestview Park. And the best place to exercise is Lake Shawnee. And although that last one is Lake Shawnee, I don't want to call out my director, but I've never seen him exercise at Lake Shawnee.
My job is in the office.
Oh, okay. All right. But any questions on that? We look forward to hearing the final vote. I think it's usually in September or October. So, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. I thought Randy might mention it, but this weekend is the annual swim meet for the Topeka Swim Association at Bladesdale. So that pool will be closed to that section, so all the other pools will be open for the public, but that one is for the Topeka Swim Association meet that takes place every year. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, Tom Block, Public Works and Solid Waste. This Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, so we will again be having our household hazardous waste event, where we will collect from free of charge for Shawnee County residents from 9 to noon any old paints, oils, herbicides, pesticides, any kind of material like that at our facility, which is located at 131 Northeast 46th Street, again, which is about a quarter mile to the east of the roundabout at 46th and North Topeka Boulevard on the south side. So we welcome anyone that's still doing some cleaning to bring up your material and get rid of it in the proper way. And one other thing to go back from last week's meeting, I don't have an answer for Commissioner Archer's question about how many people we may have signed up for our recycle coach, But as I was sitting in my meeting this morning, I got my reminder of the Household Hazardous Waste Facility event coming Saturday, so it's working. And I got I did get my reminder of the holiday schedule, because I was a Monday customer, which got pushed back to Tuesday, so it worked correctly for me, so hopefully it did for everyone else. And one other thing, this is rather funny, after our meeting last week, when we were talking about the Recycle Coach and having everyone sign up for that service, we apparently had gotten a add-on package that we didn't realize that we were getting when we signed up for this service. Now we have one testimonial that service has probably saved her marriage. So, we got more than we bargained for. So, if I can't convince you to sign up for services, you're reminded to bring your trash out, maybe you sign up to save your marriage.
Well,
Oh, my goodness.
number one, call Dr. Phil. And, do we take microwaves on Saturday? We have a spare now in our house.
We really don't take electronics up there.
Okay.
So I would say no.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Just want to do a brief reminder to the public that tomorrow at noon, if you want to run for office, is the filing deadline in our office. Additionally, if you wish to change parties, the deadline is also tomorrow at noon. So just a reminder to everybody about that. Thanks.
Thank you.
One last item for the north parking lot on the northwest corner at Monroe. That was scheduled for mill and overlay starting Friday afternoon about 5 o'clock. So we encourage all of our employees to, on a payday Friday, leave as early as possible and clear that lot so we can get that thing milled and overlaid. And weather permitting, the following weekend will be the lot directly north of the alley here. So we're getting those repaved. Overdue, but we're going to get them done.
Thank you.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Rachel Meyer, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. I'm actually here on behalf of our Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Foundation Board. We are working on an event next Tuesday in cooperation with Topeka Community Foundation. They host a wonderful event called Topeka Gives. It will be at Fairlawn Plaza, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on June 5th, which is Tuesday. And the Parks and Rec Foundation will have a booth set up, and we're actually promoting the junior pond renovations. And there are forms on the back highlighting where you can find us on the form. So I will have these available to hand out as well, and there's some out front. But all donations received that day will go towards a junior pond project, as the foundation is supporting almost 60% of that renovation, which is actually going really well. If you have a chance, stop by and see how it's going. Phase 1 is set to be complete later this summer. So, and then a second announcement, along with our donations through Azure Credit Union, we work together to promote an open gate day on Saturday, June 2nd at Skyline Park. And Azure will have some representatives at the top of the park, and also our new mobile recreation unit will be up there doing some activities. So feel free to come up and visit and walk the trails and see the wildflowers in bloom. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other administrative communications? Skipped you last Thursday, Commissioner Archer. You have anything for us today?
No, I'm still brooding over that. No, I had nothing. Thank you, Commissioner Cook.
Commissioner Bueller?
I think everybody covered it all, so, no, I don't have anything.
If you haven't noticed, this weekend is very busy, and there is a lot to do in the community. We have our German Fest in Oakland. You have a food truck festival. There's just a lot going on in the community, so don't sit at home. Get out in the community and enjoy. This last weekend we had an opportunity to go out of town on a family vacation. I'd put Topeka up about against any other community. We really have a lot going on and a lot to offer in our community. So, our next item.
Item 6, executive sessions.
There is a need for an executive session. 1, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel for a matter of 10 minutes. 2, for consultation with the attorney for the public body or agency which we deem privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding pending litigation, for 5 minutes. 3, for consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding the coroner's office, for a period of 10 minutes. 4, matters related to employee-employer negotiations, whether or not in consultation with the representative or representatives of the body or agency regarding negotiations with bargaining units, for a period of 15 minutes. So that would be a motion for executive session for a total of 40 minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? And there is no action intended, so we are in executive session for a period of 40 minutes. We are back from executive session. No action taken. We are adjourned.